All right, bro. So in the last few years, I've probably read and listened to over 50 self-development books. A lot of them helped, a lot of it didn't. And so in this video, rather than giving you this massive reading list of, yeah, drop your email and I'll send you my 50 favorite books, I want to just give you 6 books that genuinely made an instant impact, like right after reading them, and just gave me info that I could just instantly apply to my everyday life. Without further ado, we'll jump straight in. Okay, so number 1, Atomic Habits, a book that I literally just made, I think 2 or 3 videos about on my channel. We might have some sort of fancy picture pop up next to me for the book. Honestly, just golden when it comes to really just simplifying the process of sticking to a behavior. Like, what is just practical advice that I can use today, like right now in this minute, to stick to this certain habit that I want to stick to. And also in the reverse, look, I've tried a bunch of stuff. I start a little streak, but I just can't break this habit. Like, it keeps coming back. What are some things that I can put in place to stop it? This book just genuinely helps you simplify that process. And again, I've literally just made 2 videos about that on my channel, so maybe you can go check them out. Okay, book number 2 that made a massive impact, The Power of Now. And this is something that you'll be familiar with if you're in the world of meditation. If this concept is brand new to you, it's basically breaking down the idea that almost all of our pain sits either in our past or our future when it comes to our thought processes. I'm oversimplifying it here, but basically the idea is that things like heavy guilt, shame, regret sit with us because our mentally we're stuck in the past, and anxiousness and fear is because mentally we're stuck in the future. You're anticipating events too much that you can't get out of your own head. And what the Power of Now teaches you is, especially when it comes to meditation, is just the ability to be able to almost take one step back and observe your thoughts. Like, actually, like, you can observe what you're thinking about, and that in the now, hence the title, is where you actually can just feel gratitude, joy, be grounded, and really enjoy life the way you're meant to. Number 3, Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins. Need I say more? If you know David Goggins, you can only expect what the guy would put in an entire book. But honestly, just really powerful. Like, just the guy shares a lot about his upbringing, his story, how he became to be the guy that he is, because he wasn't always this absolute grind nutter. And honestly, I think just in terms of my day-to-day, it's very hard to listen to that book and then kind of feel sorry about yourself when you're, maybe you need to walk to the gym in the rain or something. Like, there was so many times where I would just take my mind to some of the scenes that he was describing in his story, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I'm cracking on. So yeah, when it comes to maybe a bit of resilience, like really toughening up, like to the core, great book. Number 4, for a book that's made the most impact, I would say has to be The Way of the Superior Man. Hard to even put down to one category where it's impacted me the most, but this book, honestly, genuinely just feels like a manual for so many day-to-day situations that you go through, like, as a man, like whether it's how to push yourself, like in terms of your comfort zones, like where you really want to live, like not, and actually in a different spin, but for example, like not overdoing it. I think so many times as guys, like, especially if you're ambitious, you kind of want to go 0 to 100, and he actually teaches you that that's not a smart thing to do, and how to really balance pushing your comfort zone, how to be a better man when it comes to a relationship, like how to conduct yourself, like how to have more success as a partner. Just so many different aspects of just the everyday life as a guy. It genuinely just feels like almost like a manual with some really practical advice. So yeah, highly recommend The Way of the Superior Man. Number 5, I would give to The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Really like the way, it's by Mark Manson, and I would say he might even be one of my favorite authors. Really like the way he writes. It feels very unfiltered, like very personal. He swears. Maybe that's something that he likes. It just feels like he's being quite raw and honest and transparent with you. And yeah, I think this book just really helped me. The whole idea is basically that there's only so many F's to give. And so you might as well, or what you should do is be very careful with what you give a fuck about. And yeah, and he gives examples of what some bad values are because you care about the wrong things and where that can lead you, and what some good values are, or what he would argue are good values to have that have the biggest impact in terms of how they shape your life, basically. And again, just so easy to digest, so easy and practical to understand why why one would lead you down the bad route and how one can change your life. And yeah, I recommend. So this last one was difficult. I was very stuck between Think and Grow Rich, and so I give an honorable mention. Think and Grow Rich, yeah, was a nominee, but I would actually give the spot to Psycho-Cybernetics. Basically, very similar idea about your subconscious is what kind of shapes the beliefs about yourself, and how to really take advantage of that, basically. Like, so much of our conscious thoughts, so much of our analytical thinking actually gets in the way of how we, the potential that we really could achieve. And so Psycho-Cybernetics just helps you kind of rewire that and gives you some good thought processes on sort of checking yourself, like, wait, like, is that actually true? What I'm sort of saying about myself, like, where does that come from? And how can I sort of quote unquote set intentions of things that I want to materialize in my future life? You could say in the modern days, I think it's a very practical guide on manifestation, but like the actual process behind it, like, from a more science, I don't even want to use the word scientific. You get what I'm getting at. Yeah, I think there's a few books, Power versus Force, Think and Grow Rich. For me, my favorite is Psycho-Cybernetics. I think it just teaches you some good mental models for changing directions in your life. And again, that sort of aspect of wanting to materialize through your subconscious, I think it gives some good tips on that. Yeah, I think that's it. Very simple video today. Hope you enjoy those 6. I hope you enjoy at least one of the 6. And yeah, maybe at some point a reading list will come. But that's all for now. God bless, bro.